Join me and take on the challenge of boosting your faith with some powerful biblical encouragement. Let's see how it transforms your mindset. Faith, it's the foundation on which our Christian lives are built. It's the driving force that propels us forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. But let's be honest, maintaining our faith during difficult circumstances can be a daunting task. Many of us have been there, struggling to stay afloat amidst the turbulent waves of life. We're faced with questions like, why is this happening to me? Or where is God in all of this? And it's in these moments that doubt and fear can creep in, making us feel like we're losing our grip on our faith. We may try to convince ourselves that we're strong, that we've got this, but deep down, we're wrestling with feelings of inadequacy and uncertainty. The what-ifs and maybes threaten to drown out the whispers of God's promises, leaving us feeling lost and alone. In those moments, it's easy to let our emotions dictate our actions, but as believers, we know that our emotions are not the guiding force we should be listening to. Instead, we need something more, something that can anchor our souls and propel us forward, even when the storms of life rage on. The Bible is filled with powerful verses and stories that offer us encouragement and hope. Take, for instance, Psalm 23, which reminds us that even in the darkest of times, God is our shepherd, guiding us through the valley of the shadow of death. Or how about 2 Corinthians 12:9, where Paul writes, "My grace is sufficient for you, for my power is made perfect in weakness." These verses and stories weren't just written for ancient people, they're for us, too. They're reminders that we're not alone in our struggles, that God is always working on our behalf, even when we can't see or feel it. They're the lifeblood that flows through our veins, empowering us to keep moving forward, even when the road ahead seems uncertain. I remember when I was going through a particularly tough season in my life. It felt like everything was falling apart, and I was left with more questions than answers. But it was in that darkness that I stumbled upon the story of Esther, who risked everything to stand up for her people. Her bravery and obedience in the face of uncertainty sparked something within me, reminding me that I, too, could trust God, even when I couldn't see the way ahead. Or take the story of David, who, despite being anointed king, faced opposition at every turn. Yet, he never lost sight of God's promise, choosing instead to trust in His sovereignty and goodness. These stories, they're not just ancient tales, they're living, breathing testaments to the power of faith and the goodness of God. In the midst of our struggles, these powerful biblical stories and verses can be the difference between hope and despair, between faith and doubt. They can be the catalyst that sparks a turning point in our faith journey, reminding us that we're not alone, that God is always working on our behalf. So let's recap. Today, we've talked about the importance of faith, the struggles we face in maintaining it, and the power of biblical encouragement to boost our faith. We've seen how these stories and verses can be the anchor that holds us fast, even when the storms of life rage on. And as we close out this video, I want to leave you with a challenge. Share with me in the comments below how biblical encouragement has impacted your faith journey. Has there been a particular verse or story that's helped you through a tough time? I'd love to hear about it. And if you're looking for more content on building a stronger faith, be sure to check out my next video. Thanks for joining me on this journey.